My name is Brianna, and I'm going to be talking about the novel Speak. Speak is written by Laurie Anderson, and I definitely have a lot to say about this book, whether it should be used in the classroom and or if students should be reading it. I definitely did not know anything about this book before I read it, and to be honest, I didn't really want to read too much into it because I wanted to be completely surprised at what I was reading, and I definitely did not expect to read a book like this. But here's a little bit about what it's about. So, Speak, as a general overview, I'm just going to explain what points it hits. So, it addresses mental health, social health, and physical health. Mental health, I would say, is key and super important in this book. The next slide, I'll tell you more specifically what it's about. But it's definitely a book that has the main character kind of having an internal battle with herself, and it definitely addresses a lot of thoughts and about how she thinks. So throughout the book, she kind of tries to figure out where her head should be. She feels one way about certain things and she feels a way about other things, and she's constantly just dealing with this battle every day. Every day she just tries to deal with it and cope with it. So it's a lot of mental health being addressed in this book. Social health definitely as well. Just to jump ahead, but this book kind of takes place in high school. So at a time like this, social health is extremely important to high schoolers and freshmen, most specifically. Like the character we're gonna talk about is that she deals with a social life. She in the beginning doesn't have a social life. So, how is she gonna deal with not having friends? How is she gonna deal with um rumors placed on her? How can she deal with all that stuff? That's all social health. And in high school and at a point like this in their life, it's very critical to them. And definitely I would say it addresses physical health as well, because you at a time like this, people are also dealing with body image, and this book has a lot to do with body image and feeling a certain attraction towards others and how others are going to come on to them as people get older, hormones and just growing up, people just see their body differently. So it definitely addresses physical health and how she compares herself to others and how they look and stuff. So the book definitely does a good job addressing mental health for sure, social health, and physical health. The next point I'm going to say is just a quick summary. So basically, Speak tells the story of Melinda Sordino. She seems like an average teenager who's just honestly nervous about high school, which is normal. Um, but in actuality, as you start reading along the book, things start unraveling and you start finding out that she's just not, it's not, she doesn't live a normal life like most of the people in high school as a freshman. She actually has a really big secret that had happened to her, and she's afraid to speak out. She's afraid to say anything. And because she can't speak out, she often finds herself isolating herself, and the friends that she used to have, she doesn't have those anymore because everyone thinks something about her and they get the wrong idea and she's viewed as an outcast. So once again, it hits the social health because she doesn't have anybody with her, and because she doesn't have that support, it often she gets she starts battling it with herself. She starts thinking negatively about herself. She starts, thinking like nothing's working out. School's not working out. Her grades aren't working out. She has no social life. So it definitely affects her mental health completely. So in the story, she's going to have to learn how to speak out. By little things, little altercations, she's going to learn that by speaking out is only the best way to get her point across about what has actually happened. So my next point I want to say really quick is basically if it should be in the classroom. Um, Along with this book having a great positivity message about her standing up for herself, I think that is the main important part of this novel, is that in certain situations that seem like there is no resolution, there is no perfect ending, especially in young girls, when they feel so conflicted between themselves, they should know that there is a way out. There is a voice. There is somebody there. There is a way to deal with certain issues. And this book definitely does a good job that girls, unfortunately, if they can relate to this story, then they'll know that this isn't the end. This isn't something that should they that it should let them ruin their lives, that it should be something that they should, instead of, turn around and use it as a way to spread awareness or to spread positivity to others, and kind of be open about it. Um, Warnings, I would definitely say that it's a lot of emotional triggers. If people in the classroom, unfortunately have been a victim of sexual assault, then this would definitely be a trigger for them. Also, it is kind of graphic. There is a certain section in the book where the main character is once again tried, is she is trying, someone is trying to assault her again, and it's kind of graphic, so it's a lot to take in, especially if there has been, in that case, somebody who can relate to that. And also, it is kind of depressing. You have to kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel, kind of thing. And for somebody who doesn't understand this situation specifically, so sexual assault, it can be kind of overwhelming. It can be overwhelming, and it makes you feel a certain way for the character. So it definitely can feel like a lot's going on. And, for someone who doesn't understand this, who's never, understood the effects of sexual assault, and knowing what that kind of looks like in another person's eyes or another person's shoes, it can be overwhelming. So would I be promoting it in my classroom? I would say no, just because, since it is so raw and it does touch on very delicate and emotional triggers for certain people, I wouldn't really recommend it in my classroom. I wouldn't necessarily, that wouldn't be a book that we would read together. But it definitely is a great book to read, because it's just one of those books that makes you take a step back and look into somebody else's lives, because this is something that could be totally relatable to somebody. But other than that, I don't think I would be in my classroom. So that's pretty much it. That's all I have to say. Thank you for listening.